They pulled us over for not wearing a seatbelt. We are wearing a seatbelt, and they're threatening to break our window.
What you're about to witness did not happen in North Korea. It didn't happen in communist China. It didn't even happen in Nazi Germany, even though the uniforms do look startlingly similar. Heck, even the actions are the same. Check it out for yourself.
I'm recording.
Unlock the window,
I'm recording.
Sir, that's fine. We're recording also. I need you to open the window.
You guys have not.
They pulled us over for not wearing a seatbelt. We are wearing a seatbelt, and they're threatening to break our window.
You haven't even asked me for my license or registration. You haven't asked me for my license or registration.
Don't break his arm.
Hey, I'm Brian. Welcome back to the Here's the Deal channel. We got to talk about this, so stay tuned.
Here's the deal.
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 Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Here's the
Right.
deal. Here's the deal. So here's the deal.
Okay, I want to show you this video, and I know it's a couple of years old, but things like this happen every single day, and unfortunately, a multitude of our fellow Americans don't see a problem with what you're about to take a look at. And stay tuned, because we're going to look at a couple of different camera angles, and what people are saying is,
You've taken this out of context.
as though more context would make any of this okay. Let's take a look.
I need you to open the window.
You guys have not.
They pulled us over for not wearing a seatbelt. We are wearing a seatbelt, and they're threatening to break our window.
Unlock the door.
You haven't even
Unlock
asked
the
me
door
for
right now. Sir,
my
we're
license or registration. You haven't asked me for my.
Now, just stop and ask yourself, based on what we know through their writings, what do you think the founding fathers would have done if, while they were traveling down the road in their horse and carriages, the redcoats stopped them and demanded that they identify themselves or else?
Do not hurt him.
Calm down.
Get out of the vehicle.
Calm down.
Exit the vehicle.
This is completely
Exit the vehicle.
unnecessary for asking
out.
somebody.
Get out.
For pulling somebody.
Get out.
You have my arm. I was seatbelt.
Hello, kids. I'm Captain Chaos, with a quick reminder that violence isn't the answer, unless you join our ranks and wear our magic costumes. Our fantastic, totally not Nazi uniforms enable the wearer to do things that other people just don't have the right to do. And if you ever happen to see a different kind of gang damaging property and pulling people out of their cars, well, make sure you give us a call, because nobody's authorized to terrorize the community but us.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get out of the vehicle. Step out. Step out. Ma'am, get out of the vehicle.
Now, I don't know about you, but this doesn't exactly inspire me to sing.
Home in the land of the free and the home of the brave.
In fact, the exact opposite. But I want to show you what some people are saying. In the other video, shot from the patrol car's dash cam, it shows the officer asking for the driver's license at least 14 times and issuing lawful orders to unlock the door and get out of the car at least 20 times. 740 likes. Video starts way too late, ends way too early. This completely removes the context of what happened. I love how the officer was ready to break the window and then was completely surprised when the officer pulled the window apart with his hands. He was like, oh, okay then. So what we got here is we've got our fellow Americans who don't see a problem with what happened here, because they say there's further context that this is couched in that explains everything and makes these officers justifiable in their actions. And again, this is New Mexico State Police. So let's look at it from the perspective of the officer's dash cam. Let's see if it adds anything to the context, making what the cops did A-okay to do to our fellow Americans.
The state police view of what led up to a dramatic traffic stop.
State police says you need to watch this version to see why they're defending their officers. News 13's Allison Martinez is in the Newsplex with the new video.
So there's a version that makes these officers' actions A-okay and endorsed by the local police department and the police union.
Dean, Jess, earlier this week, we showed you a 45-second version of the encounter taken by a passenger in the car.
That's the one we just watched.
Today, state police released 11 minutes of dash cam video showing what led up to the arrest.
Sir, we're going to break the window. Step out of the vehicle.
It was a dramatic.
Guys, I'm telling you, if there was anything unlawful about any of this, it's the amount of bumper stickers on the back of this vehicle. Just kidding.
Turn of events.
You haven't even asked me for my license or registration. You haven't asked me for my license or registration.
Today, a look at both sides of the arrest.
Get out of the vehicle. Calm down.
Philip Page and Angela Fisher Herrera were pulled over in February in Taos for not wearing a seatbelt. It's unclear in the video if the driver was or was not wearing a seatbelt, but what is clear is that the officers asked the driver 14 times for his license and registration.
Now, before we see this guy ask for his papers, because that's what the Gestapo has done, they're asking you, papers, please, give me your papers. You cannot go beyond this point. Let me just make this point. If you're not free to not wear a seatbelt in America, you're not free. Now, I agree. It makes you safer if you get into a head-on collision, for example. You probably have a better chance at survival if you're wearing your seatbelt. But shouldn't you be the one to make that decision? I mean, how far do we take the safety of the people and the general welfare? Are we really at the point in humanity where we are going to penalize somebody for taking their body through life in an unsafe manner? Is that the Gestapo police we actually want? So the only reason for this police pullover is because these people, they say, weren't wearing their seatbelts when the passenger was saying we actually did. So it's likely that the cops lied. But even if the cops didn't lie, this whole thing started because the cops disagree with a person not wearing their seatbelt. This is all that this is. The way this vehicle gets surrounded, you would think that they just fled the most vile, murderous bank robbery or mass shooting or police office slaughter.
Come here. Okay, give me your license, registration, and insurance. Driver, can I go ahead and have your license, registration, and insurance, please? Go ahead and give me your license, registration, and insurance.
That's a lie.
What's that?
That's a lie.
We also counted 20 times the officer asked Page to unlock the door or roll down his window. Instead of complying, the two in the car kept arguing.
You're acting very hostile. Because I can't hear you, and there's wind, so if you could roll this down, I could hear you better. I can't hear you. So. Okay, go ahead and give me your license, registration, and insurance, driver.
I don't have to identify.
Listen, man, you need to identify yourself because it's a traffic stop, okay?
The officer, sergeant, and other officers were called in to assist.
You know what that was? That was a code 3. This officer is running a code 3. They're running an emergency. And what's the emergency? Is somebody bleeding out? Does a child need help? Is somebody in extenuating circumstances where they're in danger and they could lose their lives? No, Sarge.
We got somebody who wasn't wearing their seatbelt and we need backup. Oh, we need backup now because they're not giving us their IDs.
This is the pathetic state of our country. Is this really the kind of country we want to live in? Is this land of the free, home of the brave? How can we have this many bootlickers who are saying, yeah, these people need to be brutalized because they weren't wearing their seatbelt and doggone it, they weren't giving the Gestapo their papers? Is this what we're back? Is this what back the blue means? It's truly infuriating.
Called in to assist.
Sir. Sorry, I don't want to break the window, sir, but I will, okay? And you need to step out of the vehicle.
Guess what? If you don't want to break the window, don't break the window. We're actually to the point where we're threatening property damage, bodily harm, and kidnapping at the barrel of a government gun simply because somebody chose not to wear a belt of fabric across their chest. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 law enforcement officers on the scene, giving their attention to, pouring their manpower in, and expending resources on people who haven't victimized anyone.
The officer warns them they're not following lawful orders and are about to get arrested for obstructing. The couple still doesn't comply.
Disgusting.
The state police chief told us this week he defends what his officers did, saying their video shows the full story, while the couple maintains police crossed the line and they felt threatened.
You can't add anything to this story to justify this initiation of unjust force on peaceful people who've literally done nothing wrong. Nothing. And the startling part about it is the police department is okay with it. The police union is okay with it. These police officers who are all bad apples are okay with it. And CIA infiltrated Operation Mockingbird MK Ultra Media is okay with it. And the coup de grace is most bootlickers and people who back the thin blue line, if not all of them, are okay with this. This is what should be done. This is the harm that should come to a person if they have the gall to drive down the road without a seatbelt on.
Ask me for my license and registration.
As they were being placed under arrest, the female passenger in the car didn't even want to comply with walking to the car, and officers had to drag her most of the way. Back to you.
Why? She was a passenger. What did she do wrong? Oh, she wasn't wearing her seatbelt either. She is not compelled, unless she has committed a crime, to show her driver's license, proof of insurance, Social Security, whatever. She is not compelled. She's not obligated to do that. What are they arresting her for? Literally no crime committed and yet treated like a criminal by people who are supposed to be protecting and serving the rest of us from criminals.
All right. Thank you, Allison. Both Page and Fisher Herrera are charged with resisting arrest, concealing identity, and abuse of 911.
Resisting tyranny. Wait a second. Abuse of 911?
911.
You think they called 911 on themselves to bring the Gestapo out there? You think it was their fault? So they're slapped with these three charges right here when they've done nothing wrong? This is the land of the free, home of the brave? That the police department posted and released this video thinking that showing a band of Gestapo-dressed officers looking like they stepped right out of the 1930s is a good thing is just a small indication of the widespread psychopathy that has infested the brains of most people in America. There shouldn't be a seatbelt law, an ordinance, and rule. Because if you want the land of the free, that's antithetical to somebody doing with their body what they want done. I want to be dangerous. Besides that, it's hypocritical as far as traffic law is concerned. There aren't no seat belts on motorcycles. Some states don't even require that you wear a helmet. It's not about your safety. It's about initiating corporate traffic code, which generates more revenue for the state law enforcement Gestapo. School buses, I don't think they have seat belts either. Does this mean that the cops don't care about kids? It's a sad day in America when grown men dressed as Hitler's honor guard are hailed as heroes in our community. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel further, the Cash App and Patreon links and the Buy Me a Coffee link are in the description, or grab a shirt and become a channel member, and I will see you in the next video.